Hello, welcome back to Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So we just finished up the last game. It was the first of Tarsak, and our party was enjoying some much needed downtime after their downtime. They partied hard and took a nap, mostly. Gus was sleeping in the basement. Nightbreeze, I think, was sleeping in his room. Lindario went to hang out with her horses, and Gus was doing some family stuff. And I think nothing else much of interest happens the rest of that day. You kind of just hang out. Gus, you don't see Gus again for the rest of the day, but the next day is the 2nd, and you all can have the day.
What time is it that we have to meet for the opera?
The opera, I believe, is in the evening. I can scroll through and find it.
We didn't get the matinee. Save a little gold.
I mean, we didn't pay for the ticket.
Were your tickets paid for?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, we were invited. We there's no way.
I think it was 7 p.m.
Sounds right.
Okay.
Well, I would wake up, eat breakfast, and head over to the manor.
All right.
And first person I would look for is Dandriel, because I need to ask him for some money.
Why do you need to ask him for money?
Because I don't have enough for what I want to do.
Apparently, me giving him an armor upgrade was not good enough.
I'm asking to borrow money, either from our funds or your personal stash.
You wouldn't just take it from the bank?
No.
No, he does not have withdrawal rights on the bank.
Surprise.
I'm pretty sure it would require duplicate signatures or something.
He has a deposit rights only and requires triplicate signatures in person.
Okay. I don't remember how we set that up, so.
Well, we're making it up right now.
Yep. All right. Well, so where would you go looking for Dan?
I'd probably start with his room.
He is not there.
So what do you have? Like, you came home fairly early in the day, the previous day, and it went to your room, and it was loud, so you went to the basement. Have you been in the basement, like, all day and all night and into the next morning?
It sounds about right.
He needed, like, a good couple of days to recover.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking about how that works. Like, I would have peeked my head out of the basement, grabbed a bottle of booze and some raw eggs, and then gone back to sleep.
Ugh.
Raw eggs. Mmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
tomato
like-
juice.
Yeah.
It's a red eye. Beer, tomato juice, raw egg.
Never needed one of them.
So,
You're a better man than me.
The British do bacon buddies, right?
So Gus makes it up to Dan's room. At the top of the steps, you can see that they've been working here, and the roof is there's new wood up there, and they've replaced some of the stairs where the floor was all gross. But yeah, you knock there, and no one's there.
All right, then I go find Nightbreeze.
Nightbreeze, are you findable?
Yes.
Okay, you find Nightbreeze.
Hey, bud.
Hey, what's up, man?
Do you know where Dan is?
I think he was trying to get some rest, and I know they're working on the roof and all that fun stuff. So he is probably as far away from the loud noises as humanly possible. You missed one hell of a night.
Yeah, you did too. My night was crazy.
I'm positive that it was. Anywhere where you are, Gus, it's always a party.
All right, well, I'm going to go find Dan. What are your plans for the day?
I'm just going to get ready for this opera thing we have tonight.
I expect you to look Good.
I will do my best, Gus.
I and my family have a reputation, and there's a lot of very important and reputable and irreputable. Unreputable?
Irreputable.
Irreputable.
Scootable.
Yeah.
Scootable.
People there.
Right.
So I have a reputation to uphold, and I can't be seen with people who don't look appropriate for an opera.
Well, it's my hope that we don't tarnish that there, Gus.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. And I'll head off and just go out to the street and start thinking.
I'm just playing with my snake.
Raising.
You need to keep a tally.
Is anyone else doing anything this morning?
Lindariel is in her room, probably doing like finishing touches on stuff, sewing thing.
I'd be getting myself some sort of breakfast.
More raw eggs.
More raw eggs.
Or I might like create a bonfire and cook them this time. This is day 2 of the hangover. I'm much better now.
Yeah.
Bonfire in the basement with the ghosts.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Oh, and by the way, the snake has a new name.
No.
Yeah.
What is it?
Sleet.
Sleet.
Yep.
I like that.
Not as good as toast.
It wasn't toast, it was...
It was soup.
What was it? Soup.
Soup.
I knew it was like,
So yeah, you're right, it's
I knew
not
it
as
was
good
like-
as toast, but it's...
when you eat when you're sick.
I like sleep.
Cheeseburger soup forever.
So I would just be outside in the streets looking and thinking, where would Dan be?
I would have made it up to the bar, and I'd be sitting at our bar.
So I would probably peek in and see if I see anybody, and assume I see drunk, hungover, not drunk,
fully recovered
hungover.
at this point.
Fully recovered.
I would just approach him very quietly and say, "Hey, buddy."
What do you want? It's first thing in the morning.
I have a favor to ask.
And he finds dinner.
What do you need?
I could use a little money.
Aren't you rich?
No, I am not. My family is.
So why don't you go for them for money?
They won't give me money because I'm not helping them in any way. And I charge things to the house all the time.
Alright, what do you need the money for?
I can't really tell you.
Well, then why would I give it to you?
Because I will pay it back with interest.
What kind of interest are we talking about?
How about...
Hold on. And where are you going to get the money? It's not that you have an actual job. You quit your job to be an adventurer.
Well, I will give you more of my share whenever we get some.
How much do you need?
Well, there's two things I could need, really. One is I could use 250 in order to get a sword. But I also need like 40 for something else. So, if you could do both, I would take both. But if not, the 40 is more important.
40 gold, huh?
Yes. And I will give you 50 back.
Well, that's not how interest works.
That seems like a great interest rate to me.
Well, when are you going to pay me back?
As soon as I have it.
Well, that's not how interest works. It's a percentage based on the time it takes you to pay me back.
How do you know about this stuff?
How would I not know about this stuff? I work in bars.
This is D&D in real life, folks.
Exactly.
Well, what interest would you like?
Well, let's say 25% daily compound.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, no, I could never afford that. I would be indebted to you for life. That's like loan shark rates.
Drow gonna drow?
I mean, you know, most Waterdeep establishments would at least compound on the 10-day.
Well, yeah, but
This is a friend loan.
exactly.
Friend.
Alright, well, alright, fine. If you can pay me back in a week, I'll take 50. If it takes you more than a week, I want 65.
Deal.
Alright. Well, I'll
And
have
just
to give
know,
it.
this is very important.
Alright. I'll have
And
to
it's
give
not
you.
for me.
I'm sure it's just knock my socks off. Alright, now I'm gonna have to give you 4 platinum pieces because I ain't got that much gold. So just take the 4 platinum.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm all out of gold. I'll just use platinum.
Just take my platinum.
The platinum.
We'll have to do. I'm sorry.
Man, I'm down under 100 gold now.
And after I leave, Steven, I would be sending the 50 gold to do the other thing that I will not mention.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Oh,
sketchy.
God.
I'm not actually sure what you're talking about, so you might have to message me.
Even better. It's gonna be so easily.
It's gonna be great now.
The 50 gold that was required to purchase a particular service.
Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, got it.
Whoa.
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 Are you doing that? Are you going there now to do that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we not RP that part?
Well.
So yeah, Gus leaves for a little while.
Why are all of our minds going to the same thing?
I don't know, because it's completely innocent and quite virtuous.
But
Doesn't
Gus
sound
is
like
involved.
What has Gus ever given an idea that he'd do anything like that?
This is episode 19, so I'm thinking at least 18.
At least 18 times, yes.
Didn't you want Lynn to run a brothel for you?
Yeah?
Yeah, but not work at it.
Yep.
I have faith in Gus.
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything this morning after Gus's intrusion?
Nope.
Nope.
Lynn might be like, if I was like altering like the guys' like outfits, like might be like running around like making them try on stuff and like adjusting things. If I haven't already.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
We
I
can
can
kind of
think of.
fast forward to the afternoon. You guys are getting ready.
Ooh, can Lynn add an inner pocket for Sleet?
Sure.
Fantastic.
Sleet needs a little tiny bow tie. Or a monocle.
If I would have had more time.
I can make him a bow tie. If you suggest it, Lynn will totally do it.
Oh, totally. Yes.
Yeah, doing it.
At some point in the afternoon, you get a knock on your door.
All right.
Well, if Lynn's busy and I guess Dan's downstairs and Gus is away. I get to open the door.
All right, and there is a woman there.
Roll initiative.
What kind of service did Gus buy?
With a delivery of seems to be flowers.
Oh yeah, cool. I'll sign for him.
All right.
Did you say flowers?
Yep.
Yes.
And so Nightbreeze comes back up. He is carrying.
Do you want me to read it, or do you want to read it?
Well, there's a. It looks like a set of boutonnieres made from estilpa, if I'm saying that right. It's tied off with ribbon. And there was one especially fancy. It's a flower bangle, like a cuff, of Lysanthius, Nagella, estilba, and Gypsophila. I don't know if I'm saying those flower names right. They're all fancy. But yeah, you have a fancy flowers to adorn your fancy attire.
Obviously, the boutonnieres are for the guys, and the bangle is for Lynn.
That would make sense.
What
Or
time?
all of it was for me.
Is it like about time we would be getting ready?
Yeah. It's later in the day. Gus is back by now. So you guys just
Very relieved.
each getting ready on your own?
Yep.
Alright. I assume that goes according to plan. You guys would probably know that this would be a place that would not allow you to bring weaponry with you. So would you...
So, Lynn has already thought of that. If we're all already, I'm like, are we all like dressed and ready and like?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We can get to that point. We can fast forward, like you all got ready, got dressed.
Oh yeah. Super dressed. No weapons on my person.
So, Lynn would ask, does anyone have a dagger I could borrow?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've totally made myself one of those little, like, garter belt dagger thingies.
Nice.
So, I
It's
have
okay.
that
You can have the dagger. I've got a pocket snake.
hiding up my skirt.
Crazy.
Does
Fine
that
pocket snake?
Yeah, does that pocket snake get bigger?
You know,
Only if you head it the right way.
things happen. It gets excited. But I have noticed that in some of the colder climates, it gets a little smaller.
You just got out of the pool, okay?
Yeah. It was cold in the pool.
All right, so we got one person with a dagger, one with a snake, and one that does magic.
Yeah, I've got no weapons but an arcane focus.
Yeah.
I have debonair, good looks, and charm.
You've got
You're very shiny.
Fisticuffs.
So I'm assuming you're not taking all of your like adventuring gear with you. So kinda
No.
keep track of that. What you actually have with you.
And my new AC is like 3.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It should be 10 plus dex, I think, is what it defaults to.
I'm just going to unequip everything and then use that.
Oh, yeah.
Because, folks, D&D Beyond, who is not a sponsor but a fabulous tool, allows you to do such things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also gonna there's on my thing on my leg there's room for a dagger and then my magic missile wand
Okay.
I will keep on me.
I'm gonna pocket like 2 bottles of wine and a healing potion, but not take anything else.
Okay. All right, and just as it's about time for you to leave, you hear another knock on your door.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I'll answer it.
And you see an older gentleman. He's also well dressed. you don't recognize that he's wearing the colors of one of the noble houses. And he says, "Sir, your carriage is awaiting." And you see parked outside is a large carriage with 4 horses in front of it.
Oh,
There's room for all of you.
excuse me. Who sent the carriage?
Lord Neverember. He is waiting you inside.
Okay,
We're all gonna die.
I'll go get the rest of the group here.
Never Ember.
And I just go to the bottom of the stairs. Guys, rides here.
I saunter downstairs.
I just kind of run down the stairs, and you can hear the bottles clinking inside my room.
Lynn is very uncomfortable. She's wearing this dress, but it's you can tell she's very uncomfortable with wearing this and not having her bow and everything.
I would say also at some point, I know that all of us probably would tell Lynn that she's done some amazing craftsmanship and how well the suits all fit us.
Yay.
Yes, they're all embellished with just embroidery and various patterns.
It's awesome. And, Sleep loves his little pocket. It's great.
There's little hidden, embroidery of, leaves and, very, naturey things, on the inside, all over, inside. Not crazy on the outside, but, they're hidden little bits on, the hems and stuff.
Yeah, so as you come out and the man opens the door of the carriage for you, and you can see waiting for you inside there's a man and a woman. The man you recognize as Renair Neverember, and he greets you and he sees you. He's like, come in. And he looks at the woman and says, I wanna introduce you to my friends, these adventurers, saviors of the city.
Oh.
He's like, yeah, this is Dandriel, the magician. And
Oh, a magician. Well, thank you for making your acquaintance.
Lindariel, the
Nice to
expert
meet you.
archer.
Archer.
And this is Nightbreeze the Fearless.
Oh my.
Fearless.
We'll have to hear about your exploits, Nightbreeze.
Robin, the not so very brave.
And Lord Augustine Talmost of House Talmost. And if the rumors are correct, the Xanathar Slayer.
Oh, indeed. Well,
All of
lovely
that
to
is
make your acquaintance.
And
very
also,
true.
I would like you all to meet the Lady Esvele Rajnar.
Fajnar.
Huh?
Good evening.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. All right.
And where's Stravorax, my hero?
He's been called away for the evening on very important business for the city of Waterdeep.
Yeah, what he said.
That is disappointing. But
He
lovely.
sends his regrets. No regrets.
Oh, so one of your party will not be joining us.
Unfortunately not.
Oh.
Well, how have you been? Haven't seen you since you rescued me, and I've been reading all about everything you've done. It's been a busy couple days.
Has it only been a couple days? Yeah,
It's only been a couple days.
Yeah, what was it? It was like
I will tell you that this adventure has felt much longer than just a couple days.
Do I recognize the name Varsha or Varshna?
Rajnar.
Rajnar, yeah, that
There
one.
you go.
I think you do. So just to count back, it was the 20th of chess. So it has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's been 10. It's been a 10 day
Yeah.
since you rescued.
We're old chums at this point. We're sitting at the same lunch table.
The brink of proposing marriage.
Yeah. It's been proposed. It just hasn't been accepted.
Oh, right.
It's
I
not.
keep turning
No.
Gus down.
I'm just wearing her down. No, is Rajnar a noble house?
Yes.
Okay. So,
And Kara, do you want to describe your character?
Like her. What do you mean? Sorry.
Like what do they see?
yeah, what do you look like?
Oh, I am tall. I I guess, dark hair. I'm wearing it down, as you can see. I have no distinguishing marks, like a mark or anything. And I have the bearing of someone who grew up with great wealth and responsibility thrust upon me. And yes, I carry myself with the bearing of a lady.
You're human, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's
That
any
too.
Waterdeep nobles that are non-human. Are there?
Well, you met Lord Victorio Castellanter, who was a half-elf.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
The large majority you know are human.
So, is there like a thing between you two, or like what?
I kind of like coyly look at Rainier and kind of like smirk.
Yeah,
Do you want to tell them, or do you want me
They
to?
kind of grin at each other. It's like, oh, we just met the other day, and
Well, I just know the merging of two noble families would be like a very big deal.
Well, that seems to be rushing things a bit. We were just at this very tedious gala last week, or was it even a few days ago? I can't even remember. Ugh. I just went to make an appearance. I had to
I
go.
understand completely.
Augustine, I'm sure you understand how these things
Oh,
are.
they're
Like,
just
so
terrible.
tedious.
Just
so I
droll.
decided, after I had been there the appropriate amount of time, that I was just going to pop down to a local pub, and there Rainier was.
yeah, I was at the same event, had much the same idea, and lo and behold, at my destination is this lovely lady.
Sounds
Well,
like
significantly
quite
better
the
than the last
coincidence.
time I heard about you going to a bar.
Oh,
Oh,
that was not him. That was his son.
No, it was him.
Oh, was it? I thought.
this is where Steven says, "Okay, everybody, roll initiative."
So I was like,
Rainier's who we saved.
yeah, this ended
Oh.
significantly better than the last time we went to.
Rainier's the one who took you out for hibachi dinner after you saved him from the Zentarum warehouse.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
yeah, because him and the most attractive man in Waterdeep got kidnapped.
Right, I remember that. It seemed like it was just a few months ago.
Yeah,
Just 12 days.
Yeah,
12 whole days.
somewhere around almost like 18 weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do, like, it is, I can, like, jog your memory. Rainier and Floon do look quite a bit alike. They both have, like, the long red hair, and it's why they were kind of confused for each other.
I'm into gingers.
So Floon is the most attractive man in Waterdeep, and if Rainier looks a lot like him, does that make him the most attractive man in Waterdeep, and therefore Gus is maybe a third?
Probably.
Oh man, keep knocking down that social ladder.
All I know is hurt people hurt people.
So I'm on the edge of my seat holding my little bag in front of me, and I'm just looking around at all of you, and I just say, oh, so please just tell me more about your adventuring, and how did you meet, and what have you been doing, and just tell me everything.
Well, I threw a fireball at Nightbreeze by accident. That was kind of...
It happens.
It happens.
That's the thing you lead with.
Yeah,
It's the thing that's really burned into my head, if you know what I mean.
yeah, it's kind of like it's burning into my back.
Oh yeah, high five.
Wait, where are we? We're this way? I don't know.
Yeah, well, hold on, where are we on street?
We're this way. We're this way.
No,
yeah.
no, no,
No, oh yeah,
no.
down there.
There we go. Close? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Wait.
Now that we've accomplished that.
And now, Augustine, how did you fall into the adventuring game, being from a noble family?
That's a really, really long story that nobody wants to hear. But essentially,
But he'll
And then I
tell
just,
it
like, keep
anyway.
Because
3 hours later.
I was looking to start up a group so I could make a name for myself outside my family. And here we are.
here we are, okay. And then Lindario. Oh, no, go ahead.
So, and what of the Xanathar? All the broadsheets were saying that you guys had had an instrumental role in its downfall, and I've just heard the rumors that it's this strange alien creature. What was it? What did you do?
Well, unfortunately, it's not something we can really talk about. But what you've heard may or may not be true.
If we told you, we'd have to kill you.
Seems unlikely. You would be immediately destroyed by any number of my compatriots.
Well, understandable. But what Gus is saying is correct. We are currently under contract of secrecy about the things that have happened, but it's pretty accurate.
Interesting.
I mean, we had to go through the sewers and a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
that
that
sounds dreadful.
It was kind of strange, that's for sure.
Oh. And smelly, I'm sure.
Yeah, it smelled
Yeah.
pretty bad. Pretty
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get that out of your clothes? Do you just throw them away and get new ones?
No, I just found a wizard dude to be like clean.
The best use of a wizard is laundry.
Prestidigitation is so important. I really need to pick up that cantrip.
And yeah, Floon hasn't spoken of it since. He won't talk to me about it.
How is Floon?
Yeah, have you seen him? Is he?
He's doing well from what I've heard, but he's quite shaken from the experience.
Has he made it home?
Yeah, as far as I know, he was attending some of the celebrations last 10-day.
Is his memory restored?
I didn't know there was any issue with it, so I assume so.
Cool.
He just
Cool.
didn't want to talk about the experience, but as far as I know, he's doing okay.
Well, that's good.
So, by chance, do you have any need of our services?
I know Mert asked of the assistance of some adventurers, and I put in a good word for you, and it's kind of what the purpose is here tonight.
I'm sorry, you see the guy that was supposed to meet at the opera?
Yes, he set this all up, and we'll have a good time, and you'll get to meet one of the most interesting people in all of Waterdeep.
So that would make Gus the second most interesting person in all of Waterdeep.
Or the third.
Or the third.
So, what language are operas in Faerun sung in?
This opera is in Giant.
Oh,
Yes, we
Of
get
course.
to enjoy some giant tonight.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Does anybody here speak Giant?
Nope.
No.
actually, I do.
Oh, so will you translate for us?
The
I'll see
entire
what I can
opera.
Rainier might be holding most of my attention, but I will see if I can oblige you.
I appreciate the honesty.
Well, I am anything. I am transparent.
You know who says that? People hiding things.
Oh, I
mean-
assure you, I had nothing.
Or ghosts, specters, various and dead things.
And I just look at Rainier like, your friends are weird.
He
What?
doesn't disagree.
Friends, we're really more acquaintances.
So how, I'm sorry, I must know, though, all met 12 days ago.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Is this-
It was tight,
okay.
yeah.
Yes, and so what have you done other than rescue my dear Rainier?
What was that animal, that creature that I was riding or being carried by? And you guys-
The Manicore?
Yeah, have you
Yeah.
seen a manicore? We killed one and I piloted it into the side of a hill.
Yeah, the Slider Manticore.
A Manticore in Waterdeep. Your tails just keep getting taller.
Hmm.
Oh, these aren't tall tales. He's
No,
out.
Gus really isn't that tall. He's just, maybe average at best.
We climbed a mountain. We slayed a manticore. Gotten our
Indeed.
couple bar fights, or at least one. We ate some good food. We're getting our house fixed.
And where is your house? Where do you stay?
We're parked right in front of it.
We've
Trolls.
moved along.
I thought we had moved on. I'm not familiar with this area of town. Clearly,
I'm just imagining.
Like,
Oh, that's your home.
Oh yes, you stay here. You live here.
I thought you were visiting orphans or something.
We're not like in the dock ward. Come on now.
Yeah, but we still don't have really functioning doors yet.
No.
No, you've moved along by now. If you there is a window you can look out. It's with curtains, but yeah, if you look out, you haven't actually moved that far. Moving by
we're
carriage.
not even at Gus's house yet.
Moving by carriage is not faster than walking in Waterdeep. It's just you do it because you don't want to walk, not because you want to get anywhere fast.
So it's the opulence. That's
Yeah.
that's why you do it.
Yeah, there's too much traffic for it to be quick.
So it's right back down this street. It's Troll's Call Manor.
And so you are doing extensive renovations, I hope.
Sure.
Good.
We are indeed. Also, I'd like to point out that during these past 12 days, I have not woken up once naked in a stable. Just throwing it out there.
Good.
Is that true?
I have no.
I wish I could say the same.
Augustine
No.
seems like he has adventures of his own.
So,
So yeah, you guys
And
have
and
left.
I believe I've probably Augustine, you vaguely seem familiar to me. Perhaps we would have run in circles as children or youth at different cotillions or social functions with our families.
It's very likely.
Yes.
How old are you, ma'am?
I'm like deeply offended by this.
Well, how
And
would
I
I know
just-
if we associated as kids if I have no idea how old you are?
How about you tell me how old you are?
I am 26.
I think we possibly would have crossed paths in our youth.
What was her
Renair,
name?
you old dog, you.
She was introduced as Lady Esvele Rajnar.
Okay. I know who she is because I have done my research, but I'm being quiet.
When did you do research, and how did you know she was going to be here?
I didn't know she was going to be here, but her name sounds familiar to me. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
You knew we did research. Oh, that's right. You weren't.
You were
I was-
stuck with the
You got stuck on your research.
yeah.
I did research.
Yeah, I'd have to check my notes. I'm still a bit frazzled from the anatomy book.
But you guys are making your way down the high road. It's a familiar road.
Well, not to me. I'm not from this area.
No, you've been, Waterdeep.
Not this area of town.
cat is that?
That sounds like a fake cat.
I'm assuming that it is really snug in here. Like 6 people in a carriage is pretty tight.
He was expecting Drevoraks too, so this is one of
Okay.
his bigger carriages.
Okay.
There isn't a lot of room, but it's actually nicer than we thought it would be. And there we go.
Okay, yeah, I do know about the Rajnars as well.
Yeah, so it's not like super cramped, but it's not also tons of space. It's comfortable. This
Okay.
is a nice carriage.
Okay. Lynn's pretty much just being quiet and very uncomfortable with this whole thing. What she's wearing, where we're going, who we're with.
I turn to Lindariel and compliment her dress. That green just looks so lovely with your eyes.
I know, doesn't it?
Thank you.
And so are you from Waterdeep?
Oh God, no.
Where do you hail?
Just from the forest.
The forest?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I remember what your name is. I recognize your name. You're opening a winery in town, right?
We are. Well, it's not really in town. It's in
Oh, okay.
Yes. Our family owns land there, and also in Tithir. So yes, we're very excited about it opening very soon. You'll all have to come out.
As she's explaining this, I look over at Lynn and give her a wink, like, I got your back. I was trying to derail the conversation. So how is the winemaking coming along?
I'm not really involved in those details, but I hear it's going very well.
That's fantastic. I mean,
I think so.
I was under the impression that you were kind of heading up your family at this time. Is that incorrect?
No, I wouldn't say that. No, I do my duty to my family as me, and I'd say it's definitely not like that.
By chance, do you have any wine with you? I would love to sample it.
No, you'll have to come out to our grand opening or so and indulge. I'm sorry, I don't carry it with me.
You should. It's good to have samples.
I'll pull a bottle of Omnish wine out of my pocket and be like, oh wait, I got some wine here. It's Omnish wine, no less.
I'm gonna roll some dice to see if it's actually Rajnar label wine you have. It is not.
Curses.
So it's a
That would have been
competitor.
so great.
Instead, you got the competitor one.
Right.
Brand X.
Yeah.
Well, unless we're gonna each take chugs out of the bottle, we probably will have to wait until we have some glassware.
I don't think that's stopping Dan.
I think Dan's already drinking it.
Oh yeah.
Roll a Constitution save.
I'm not drinking that. I'm not like housing a whole bottle of wine on the drive.
So that's
is a
not a
long
bad
drive.
idea.
It's a long drive. However, it is nice to be among people I'm more familiar with at this point.
Oh, you mean us?
No,
Oh.
the ones who respect the way I look.
How far
Yeah,
is it
that's
that
not
we're
us.
going?
It's just south of the market, I think.
Okay,
So
so it shouldn't take us very long.
you get to the market and traffic kind of comes to a stop there, but you're not that much further.
Do you all attend many operas?
I get out every now and then.
Yeah, when time allows.
Usually a good social occasion, and it's a social occasion where I do not have to really interact with that many people.
Yes, can be so tedious.
Good to be seen and not have to interact with all of the assholes.
And I kind of slap his leg, like, he's
The
not
language.
wrong, though.
I haven't been to opera in probably 10 years. It tends to be a little highbrow for me.
I think you're in for a treat. Tonight is supposed to be quite a spectacle.
Who's the conductor now?
Making me come up with a name off the top of my head.
Excuse me.
Douglas Buglehorn.
Yeah,
It's conductor.
So he,
Monsieur Conductor.
so Renair isn't sure off the top of his head, but he'll make sure to get the playbill.
Playbill.
Okay, well, this has been a enjoyable ride. Thanks.
Do you always do this? Talk when you're uncomfortable.
Oh, 100%.
Ah, indeed, yes. It's an endearing quality, and I glance over at Lynn to see her reaction.
Lynn is probably just looking out the window.
I mean, we all have our things that we do. He talks, I drink. Lynn looks disgusted at the rest of us. And Night Breeze usually looks like he's getting ready to apologize for me or Gus.
That's fair.
Alright, and you come to the corner here, and you see the Light Singer Theater is on the corner. Behind it, you can see the Great Drunkard. It's one of the walking statues. It's called the Great Drunkard because it basically fell down before it froze, and so it's in this pose of just sitting hunched over. But it's so tall you can still see the top of it from behind the buildings. Yep, and you come to a stop, and the servant comes out and opens the doors, and
Yeah,
we're here.
I'll bound out and be help people with their hands or whatever.
I'd get on the yeah.
And there is quite the crowd of people here waiting to get in. It seems the doors are open, but people are moving in slowly.
Also,
I
Night Breeze
start
is so
waving
thrilled.
to people and greetings, good evening to people I know as I pass through the crowd with Rainier.
Yeah, I would do the same.
Yeah, you guys are familiar with these formal events and just doing the noble socializing.
Can I do a perception check on the crowd? Not necessarily guards, but perhaps any that seem more out of place than I already feel.
You're
Sure.
looking for bad security agents?
Is this a general crowd of people, or is this a red carpet situation?
It's kind of in between. This is definitely a formal event, so the people here are fancier than normal. Than normally you'd see just people walking in near the market. But it's not like everyone gets their turn individually walking down a carpet. And
Well, are there a bunch of people that are just gawking, or or is everyone that's there attending?
most people are attending. There is probably just other traffic going by, but most people would realize to go around this if they wanted to actually get anywhere.
Reasonable.
And I'm sure there are some people who just want to see what's going on.
Lynn's doing that awkward shuffle, just trying to stay close to everyone in the crowd.
I guess I should potentially rephrase. I think I would look ways out, right? What's the makeup of the building, what's guarded, what's not, stuff like that. Just typical tactic stuff.
Okay.
My roll's a 19.
Okay. You see, there are only 2 city guards posted basically on the corners of the building. There is basically a squadron of city watch nearby. So that some of them are just directing the crowd, and you assume there's probably more around, but it's hard to see through the crowd.
Okay.
Now, Lynn, are you okay? Would you like to hold my arm?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, well, if you need any help, let me know. It can be a little overwhelming.
So, in seeing like Gus and Renair and our fabulous guest, whose name I'm not going to fail to pronounce, Rashnar, seeing them like rubbing elbows and saying hi to people, Dan is just going to start doing that to people as well, just pretend he knows them. Just be like, it was a pleasure to see you again. It's fantastic. Glad you could make it out. It's great.
So you get some people who shake your hand and like say hi to you, and they're trying to like think of like, why do I know this guy? But they don't know you. You get some people who are just like shaking all the hands, and they get to your hand, and after they actually look up at you, they're like, eh, and they have like a disgusted reaction, but then they move on.
Anytime I run into somebody who like pulls the hand back, I just like immediately swap to like the finger guns. Like, hey,
the finger crossbows.
The finger crossbows, yes.
So this is like an event with the royal family, and all of a sudden someone with a Cockney accent shows up and starts talking to him.
Who's like half monster.
Yeah.
Be clear, a drow-looking dude with a Cockney accent. So yes.
So Lindario, I'm going to have you make a stealth check just to get through the security with your weapon.
18.
That's pretty good. Yeah, they're not doing like a full search of, and they're not like doing pat downs and stuff. But
I mean, it's like under my gown. You can't tell.
There would be a conversation if they were patting down like that.
Yeah, it would be a different outcome. Stealth roll.
So your items are well concealed. So Dan, I'll have you do the same thing for your wine. They sell wine here.
I know, that's why I was bringing my own.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I keistered a shank.
Oh God!
Like a Constitution saving throw.
Worst ride ever.
All right, my stealth is going to be 12.
12. Yeah, you get through. They don't notice.
Yes.
I have all my armor. I have my shield, my sword.
No, I'm like the person who sneaks food into the movie theater. It's me right now.
Yep. So if you guys did someone remember to bring the tickets?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Nypers
has them.
Yeah.
Because he's the responsible one.
Unfortunately, that's my role in this game.
You walk in.
What does that say about us?
It's a pretty grand theater. It's got rows of seats that go down an incline, or I guess it's a decline if it's going down. And
it goes down and yeah.
It's very ornately decorated. There's chandeliers and there's a mural on the ceiling and all of that stuff that you see in a fine theater. Your seats are in the center in the third row.
Oh wow!
So you're
No box.
No box.
Seats.
You can see that there are 4 boxes, and currently, as you walk in, you recognize in the first box on the right, you recognize the Manthars, Lord Karn and Lady Zilla Manthar from Fede. In the second box, Gus, you recognize the Melshimbers.
Ooh.
On the other side, both of the boxes are currently empty.
Do I see my parents anywhere?
Make a perception check.
Sorry, guys. $20.
20.
Dirty 20.
You do not see your parents.
Okay.
But yeah, there's only 4 boxes. Renair is not that elite to have a box here. But you were instructed to meet in box C at the intermission.
Okay.
Which you can you can figure out it would be the closest to the stage on the left is box C.
So, Carrie, your name
Who's in there?
You're Esvela? Is that what it is?
Esvele.
Esvele. Okay.
Is there anyone currently in the box that we're supposed to meet at later?
Not currently, but you're a little bit early. But yeah, people are finding their seats, and you can make your way down and you basically fill up a whole row, minus one seat that would have been driver X, which you think it would have been interesting watching him trying to fit in that seat, and then have an interesting conversation with the people sitting behind him. But you've
He pulls out his wine and starts offering it.
And not too much longer, you do see in the it would be box D, the one second on the left. I'll have Gus and Esvele roll a history check.
12.
13.
You both recognize the Hustine family. They're another noble family. They are sitting in that box.
Okay.
And not too much longer, you see in that box C there is a large mustachioed man, kind of limps up and takes his seat. And he kind of stands out from the rest of the people here. One of just his size, but also he's not technically wearing black tie attire. He's a little more blashy than that. He's got kind of a blue, like puffy pirate shirt, and he's wearing a big brimmed hat.
Oh God.
Flamboyant cravat.
Yeah.
Oh God. Really?
And you see him take his seat, and he's got his opera glasses.
Fuck.
Is this somebody you know, Nightbreeze?
Somebody that Michael knows, but I don't think that Nightbreeze knows who this person is. But damn you, Steven.
Well, Gus recognizes Mert, the moneylender. He's a character around town, and possibly the wealthiest man in Waterdeep.
What is Mert's last name?
Nobody knows.
Interesting.
Mert, nobody knows the moneylender. Got it.
Is Mert the guy that's all bedazzled?
Yeah.
While all this is going on, I still have Rainier's arm, and I keep kind of like touching his arm with my other hand and like whispering to him, and then like glancing around and kind of like waving at people or "So good to see you, yes," and just like making general like small talk and chit chat with the people around me that I know.
Yeah, and he chats back with you, and he's doing much the same thing. There's very obviously certain people he's avoiding. But otherwise he seems very friendly with the people he wants to be friendly with.
Who's next to me?
You guys can give basically a marching order of sitting in the row.
Well, I would want to sit next to Lynn, so wherever she is, that's where I would have been.
We can make it interesting and say that Lynn is flanked by Dan Nightbreeze and an empty seat. No, I would sit on the end by the. You say we would take it basically. Do we have an aisle seat?
Yeah.
I'd take the aisle seat.
I don't mind if he sits next to me. It's fine. I'm so uncomfortable that him sitting next to me like doesn't really.
So what you're
It's like
saying
lowest
is
on the totem.
it's comforting. I get it.
Probably, actually, honestly.
So, like, you're visibly uncomfortable, right?
Go with the weird
Oh,
you
yes.
know and not the weird you don't know.
Yes, I have no idea like what we're doing here, like what we're doing. I'm uncomfortable with the whole scenario.
Okay. Got it. As we sit down, I'm going to take Sleet out and just kind of like covertly hand him to you.
Aww.
I see
He's got
this
his little
and I go,
bow tie.
"Oh, what is that?" And I like lean down the aisle and like trying to like see. I guess I'm guessing I'm sitting kind of at the opposite end of y'all, so I can't really like hear you that well. But like I'm very interested in what's going on.
I'd say
I think I'd have to be a perception versus.
I'd say Renair's probably sitting on the opposite side from Nightbreeze, but Renair, since you have an empty seat, Renair's sitting one in from the end, and Esvale is next to him.
So are you saying I am closer than I think I am, or further than I think I am?
It depends on. So
Let's say we are Nightbreeze, Lynn, Gus, Dan,
Esvale,
Esvale,
Renair.
Rainier.
Right. So I'm still close enough that I could like lean over and see what y'all are doing.
Yeah, you're leaning over Dan and Gus to see Lynn.
I'll just be like, oh, yeah.
Can I hold him?
I'll like awkwardly look to like Nightbreeze, like.
He's still young enough that he doesn't trust that many people for you to get hurt.
I try to put my hand out, and I'm like, "Oh, don't be silly!" And I like put my hand out to try to like let him sense
Oh,
me. Or
God.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh God.
15.
And I'll have Michael make an insight check for Breezy's flying snake.
Okay. Okay. Which skill is insight?
That is
Is
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay. Okay. So that would be a 22 because it was a natural 20.
Okay. I had it in my head how that made sense to make that contest, and now I'm doubting myself. I'm going to say that he does not come to you. It's just from calling.
Oh, he's just shy.
Yeah, he's very new.
And what's his name?
Sleet.
Sleet. Oh.
We wanted to name him Cheeseburger Soup.
Oh, how droll, really.
So, observing the behavior between this new couple and how they're reacting with the people around them, I lean over to Lynn and say, watch how they are. They're like okay with some people and not others. And that's all because the Rajnars were exiled from Waterdeep, and there's people here that are not happy that they're here. So you'll notice like that they're okay with some families and not others.
Oh.
It's fascinating. Just watch it.
Okay.
And you all are aware that Renair's dad was ousted as the Open Lord of Waterdeep only a couple years ago. So he himself probably isn't in good standing with a lot of people.
Yeah.
The politics of the Waterdhavian nobles is very interesting.
And Esvale, I'll have you
Certainly
make a
is strange.
perception check.
Excuse me, sorry I keep coughing, guys. Ten.
Gus, I'll have you make a stealth check to see if you were quiet enough so that she didn't hear you.
Gus doesn't know how to be quiet. This is a place where Josh's rolls will be so good.
18.
Oh.
That's pretty good. So,
I'm a +7 for stealth.
Oh.
So between greeting other people and whispering with Renair, you did not hear Gus say that to Lynn.
Would Rainier have heard it?
He's further away.
Yeah.
So the DC is now higher by one person.
You did not hear it.
I don't really understand what we're supposed to be doing here. Do we just sit here? Is this it?
Are you familiar with operas?
No. How would I?
I don't know. I don't know if they have operas in the forest. Oh.
I'll just kind of like Dan will just kind of lean over a little bit and be like, "It's kind of like a show, like almost like the ones that I put on, except I don't know, more singing, less understanding, that kind of stuff."
Oh, unless you speak giant, you will not understand anything that's going on. So you just have to watch and listen and enjoy the.
I highly suggest drink wine. It helps.
Is giant like a very like aggressive language? Like
It's German.
is it like so I've been to like a legit Chinese opera and it was literally one of the most horrible things I've ever experienced. Like give you a headache, you want to run out of the building type of thing. So I'm just curious what level of noise it will be.
I think you got your answer.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of it as like more Russian than German.
Okay.
That's true. Draconic would probably be a little bit more abrasive than giant.
Chinese opera is literally like just a lot of like sounds like pots banging the whole time. So it's a lot.
Yeah. Some of the instruments they use are like that.
It's literally pots banging
Yeah.
for 3 hours. Okay.
And now, the DM will present the opera.
Yeah, people by this time have filled in their seats, and the house lighting has gotten lower, and my brain is not working tonight. So a man walks out on stage. He has a fancy twirly mustache, and he's dressed up in a full basically tuxedo. And he steps out, and you see him like touch his throat. Dan, you'd recognize like a thaumaturgy to make him louder, and he speaks out over the car. He's like, "Hello and welcome to the historic Lightsinger Theater." And his voice is just—it doesn't sound like he's shouting, but he's loud, so everyone can hear him. This will be our presentation of the Fall of Tiamat. Just a couple things to go over. Just please, no talking or loud noises during the show.
Loud noises!
Mages, we ask you to refrain from spell casting. If anyone is sensitive to lighting, magical effects, or the smell of baby powder, you may not wish to be present.
The smell of baby powder?
Nice, good sir. Very nice.
And he takes a moment. He introduces a few kind of random people, and some people stand and applaud. And just kind of like the pleasantries of starting a show that just seemed to go on and on for a while. But finally he walks off the stage, and the curtains rise. And you can see there is a full orchestra on the stage, and there are basically a matte painting in the background of a city that has smoke coming up from it, and there are lights that are simulating fire. And a woman walks out, and basically the music picks up, and she starts singing. and you have no idea what she's saying. It's in Giant, and it's very. It's not very exciting musically. It's an opera, so it's kind of like very slow paced and very lots of like long held notes. But she's basically kind of like pacing back and forth on the stage, just singing for a while. And meanwhile, in the background, there's just these lights of this burning city. And this goes on for a time, and then she's accompanied on stage just with a bunch of people, and there's just kind of like this dancing performance, and none of it really makes a whole lot of sense. There's just a lot of motion on the stage, and the music picks up a bit. It's really hard to kind of follow what's going on. It's kind of just a lot of chaos on stage, and just the composition of the music kind of goes all over the place. Sometimes it slows down again, sometimes it'll speed up. It's very strange to watch.
Was there a playbill, and did it have like a rundown of what the opera represents and its various arias, etc.?
Yes, but it was also written in Giant.
Oh, jeez.
The playbill was written in Giant.
Yes.
They thought of everything.
Yep, so even the person who's here loving performances is completely in the dark.
Yeah, pretty much. It's his confusion. So this kind of goes on for a while, longer than you feel like it needed to, of just these people running around the stage. There's this whole orchestra playing really weird music, this woman singing, and then suddenly there's a bright flash, and everyone falls down, and there's one person in the middle that's just like glowing, and it goes completely silent, and the scene fades out.
I lean over to Lynn and I say, "What do you think so far?"
I have no idea what is happening right now.
Yeah, this is terrible.
And a lot of people like start standing up and applauding all around you.
Do I hear
You're doing
Gus
one of those
say
things
that
where
it's
you're
terrible?
How loudly did you say that? You probably said it pretty loud to drown out the people clapping.
I'm saying it kind of. I'm leaning into her ear, basically,
Okay.
to whisper.
I'm just like enthralled again, still holding onto Rainier's arm with my hand, and just translating for him, and just clapping, standing and clapping when necessary. Just generally very enthralled with what I'm seeing.
And that whole first scene took so long. You feel like, oh, this might be the intermission, but no, they pick up right again with the next scene right away. And it's equally as confusing and not fun to watch. But eventually they do get to an intermission when the house lights come up, and you are free to go meet with Mert as planned.
What's about the cabin?
So we should go talk to Mert.
Let's go talk to Mert.
What's up, Mert?
And Ranieri just gives you kind of a nod as you walk off.
We're going to the bar.
And he's like, oh, all right.
Does Dan hear that?
Dan's like, wait, never
I
mind.
think you do.
Now, maybe we should go meet them at the bar, right? Alright, let's go talk to Mert, and then let's go to the bar.
Are you sure? You're welcome to join us.
Oh, it's just we've got a guy, and we got to see him real quick. We'll try and be quick, though, because we'd love to have a drink before we go back. But, yeah. So, I guess I will go see Mert first. Dan is internally torn.
And if you look up, you do see Mert. He stands up and kind of just retreats back to where you can't see him. There's like a curtain behind the box there.
Yeah.
And you guys can make your way down and find your way back to, there's stairs that lead up to the boxes, and you see the door marked box C.
It's, go ahead and knock on the door.
You hear voices, come in.
So I'll open the door and walk in. Hello?
Yep, and
Before we walk in, I'm going to take my wand out, and I'm gonna slide, like I have long sleeves, and I'm gonna slide it like down my sleeve.
Okay.
Just because I want something more accessible. Okay.
And I've got a picture of Mert that I think I can bring up here.
Oh my.
There he is. So yeah, he doesn't have the sword with him, but that's
He's the third
approximately.
most handsome man.
Is
So
he a
he's-
ginger? Because clearly I'd be into.
It's Teddy Roosevelt Waterdeep edition.
Right?
Yes.
So yeah, he doesn't have the sword with him, but that's about how he's dressed. And yeah, he's like, the Troll Skull Syndicate. I was told that you could help me. Come in.
Oh, well, we like to help just about anybody. Come on in, fellas. Let's go do this.
Hey, Mert, you old so-and-so.
And he kind of like grins at that, and he'll like go over and shake your hand, and he doesn't have any idea who you are.
Yeah.
Well, he knows because of he invited you here, but otherwise he doesn't recognize you as knowing you before.
It's because we've never met.
Yeah. But he's like, how have you enjoyed the performance so far?
Oh, it's magnificent.
It's inspiring.
It's been absolutely great.
There's just one little thing. I don't understand anything that's going on.
And he kind of just gives like a big belly laugh. He's like, ha ha ha, no one does.
And
Yeah.
that's the point of it, right?
Well, let's get to the point of it. I am a member of a certain secret society. Perhaps you've heard of us. And he pulls off one of his gloves, and you can see on his sleeve he has a pin of it's a metal pin of a harp with a crescent moon in it. And we tried.
Is it reasonable to assume that Dandriel would recognize that symbol?
Make a history check.
And what about Nightbreeze?
Make a history check. Well, Nightbreeze, I'm just going to say yes.
Okay.
I'm assuming I would know as well since I was in the guard.
So he the way he started that, like, you can pick up on, like, it's a secret society, perhaps you've heard of us, because he knows it's the worst kept secret in all of the Forgotten Realms, that the Harpers exist.
Yeah. I got an 8.
I think that's enough to know.
It's reasonable.
It's the worst
To your
kept
point,
secret.
it's the worst kept secret
Yeah.
in all of Faerun.
Yeah. And that's kind of like on purpose.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, speaking of secrets, I find myself in the predicament where in order to keep one, I have to tell it to someone. Are you...
Wait a minute. In order to keep a secret, you have to tell the secret?
Is this a riddle?
It's like Harry Potter.
And he laughs again.
No more riddle.
He enjoys like the brief moment of suspense before he tells you. So how about it? Can you guys keep a secret?
I'm sure we can.
Oh, I'm a lockbox.
So as you may know, we have certain informants throughout the city, here and elsewhere abroad. We trade in information. We try to use that information to help people. We have an agent who is very special to us, undercover. and we believe she has some information to give us, and we need someone to go talk to her and retrieve it. We believe that she is potentially under watch, and we don't want to blow her cover, so we can't have any other known agents go talk to her. We need someone new, someone fresh, who isn't known to have ties to us. Does it sound like something you can do? Can you find her and get the information and bring it back?
It's absolutely something we could do, but we don't do things for free.
You don't need to bring up money to a money lender, I'm sure.
So, what's the job pay?
And yeah, he laughs again. Yes, the businessman. We can. It should be a simple job. The only thing we need to do is just confirm the secrecy. I will give each of you 10 gold pieces for this. It's an easy job that's plenty of money. And there may be more jobs to come after if you prove yourselves.
I think this is something we could do, but can you give us a moment just to,
Confer.
Yeah, confer.
Absolutely.
We'll just step right outside for a moment. And I'll step out.
Okay.
Step out as well. It's a hallway.
Lynn was already in the back by the door, so.
I will exit.
So, I think this could be a test for future opportunities. So I think we should do it
Cool.
so we can get to those opportunities.
I think we should definitely do it. So he said he works for the Harpers, right?
Yes. Well, he didn't. Did he say he worked for the Harpers, or
he flashed the Harper symbol.
Yeah. He didn't say it. He showed it.
Oh yeah. What?
Lynn probably doesn't know what that means. So I'm just like, yeah, another part of all this BS of this town.
This town, exactly. Look, then I'll be like,
Well, the Harpers are an old organization that has risen. Yeah.
Your mic cut out about halfway through that, so it was absolutely perfect. It's like the Harpers are an old organization.
Because Lynn probably just didn't care anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I'd be like, definitely I want to do this work for them. There's a couple of Harpers in the town that I'd love to actually try and meet. I wonder if they'd be able to help me.
I don't see why not.
He certainly sounds like someone you would want to be on the good side with, so I don't see why we can't do this.
It is always good to be friends with the money launderer.
So let's do it.
Alright.
All right.
So yeah, we'll go back in. See Mert, and I'll be like, "Hey Mert, I think we're in. We're willing to do the work."
Good. Renair said you'd be good for it.
Oh, absolutely. I do have one other question though, if you got a second.
Sure.
Assuming we do this, you said you might be some other work down the road for us, maybe. One thing I was wondering is, do you happen to know Romolia Eventry?
Does he know Romalia? You brought up a name I wasn't expecting you to. Trying to remember who that is.
Keep the DM on his toes.
She's one of the leaders of the Harpers during at least some timelines here. She was the one who backed the followers of Eliastre in trying to set up a shrine or a church in town. I don't actually know if she's in this module or not.
I'm looking at her stat block, so yes.
Oh shit!
And roll initiative.
This is one of those, like, me choosing a background that's, like, somewhat tied to Waterdeep was gonna come up at some point.
So he'll say, of course I know Ramalia of House Ulbrunter.
Yeah, will it be possible at some point, maybe, for you to set up a meeting between at least me and her?
Possibly. I believe she's hosting a party soon. We'll work something out.
I mean, of course, not until after we've proven that we're trustworthy and we do some good work. I just would like to know if that's something we could put on the list.
Absolutely.
Alright. Thank you very much, sir. And then I'll, like, reach out to shake his hand, I guess.
Sure.
No idea if he actually shakes it back.
Yeah, he'll shake your hand. He seems to be, like, just happy-natured.
Very nice.
Are there any details that we need to know?
So this is very important. This is one of our best agents because no one knows that she is an agent. She is a talking horse. She's a draft horse, and she pulls one of the drays working in the city. Her name is Maxine. We believe that she has information about some Zent operatives. We want you to go find her, find out what she knows, determine their whereabouts.
Which crafts does she pull?
It's a dray, so it's not like a carriage. It's kind of like Waterdeep's bus system. So dray is kind of has like an open roof. She's particularly doesn't have any the people who run the transit company don't know she's a talking horse. So she could be assigned anywhere in the city at any given time. And you have to make sure that they don't find out she's a talking horse.
That shouldn't be a problem. I can talk to her.
Excellent.
I talk to my horses all the time.
It's true, she does.
Yeah, very true.
Would any of us know if there's, like, I don't know, like, essentially the equivalent of bus parking for these horses, like where the stables are for these folks?
There are stables throughout the city. I don't know if you would know, like, which one. There's lots of
I just wouldn't be sure if there was, like, a transit company stable where they have their horses, they put them up at the end of business or whatever.
Yeah, there's many.
Gotcha.
I would know where they all are.
It's fair.
Okay, let's go.
We do have to stay for the rest of the opera, I believe.
What?
Perfect. What?
And this is when I hand Lynn a bottle of wine.
Yeah, and as you're leaving, Mert will thank you all again, and he'll reiterate, like, make sure no one else knows.
I mean, they're just
Absolutely.
going to see some lady talking crazy horse talk to a horse talking horse talk, so I think it'll be okay.
Mert, once we find this information, how are we supposed to let you know?
You can come to my mansion. It's the far far western side of the castle ward by the dock ward.
Okay. Well, we'll be in touch.
And yeah, he seems pleased with that, and he turns around and walks back through the curtain to take a seat.
Let's go back to our seats and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Do we really have to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing one of those like forced smile things where you're like, okay.
Yep, and you come back just as Valet and Renair are sitting back down.
All right.
Yep. So we will settle our ways into our seats. Like, all right, are we ready for Act 2? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's going to be wonderful.
You're only good for one thing. Giving the pets.
Yeah. She's not like this.
Aw, does she know you don't feel good? She wants to love you?
Right now, she's...
Is she playing with your headphones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways.
The curtain comes back up, and unfortunately, it's a lot more of the same. You get through a third act that is pretty boring. There seems to be depicting like diplomatic missions, something like a sea voyage. It's a lot of people singing in giant. But it comes up to a kind of a climax at the end of the third act where all these people have these masks and they seem to be performing a ritual and they're kind of dancing around.
Oh, they're wearing masks, huh?
And then starting the fourth act, this large dragon appears with 5 heads. And one of the heads will like open its mouth, and you'll see this like, it looks like someone was inside it and threw like a red ribbon spool out, so this like red comes out, and at the same time there's like a light cantrip behind it, so it looks like this like fire breathing dragon effect.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. Dan, I'll have you make an Arcana check.
A 13.
13. You seem pretty impressed with just the magical effects in this performance. Like, most of the performance is not really interesting, but the magic is. You'd see a lot of these bigger productions, you would use a lot of like illusions. This one, you've not seen a single casting of illusion magic.
Oh wow!
It's always been practical effects that are like enhanced with cantrips, or there's a lot of transmutation. There's a lot of conjuration.
Oh wow!
But no illusions.
Oh, wow.
Maybe some evocation for the bigger explosions.
Sweet, like a proper action movie.
Yeah. But then it gets weird as this 5-headed dragon starts singing, and one of the heads is like beatboxing.
Oh, jeez.
It's all in giant. You don't really know what it's saying, but it looks super weird, and suddenly there's just hundreds of people on stage, like running around. There's just like cloud of ash fills the air. There's a person who comes up to a throne that's rising up, and it seems to be the person who was glowing in the first act. and a small group that appear to be adventurers are trying to come up and fight with the dragon. That person who is climbing the throne just falls, and the whole throne room just falls apart. The dragon is slain, and the lights cut very suddenly, and you see a pale blue glow of just a vest and a necktie. And then, illuminated, you see the banner of Harlequin's Requital. And the lights come back up, and Tiamat is getting pulled into the stage with all of these fire effects coming up from around it. And then the curtain closes.
So, for our careful viewers, Harlequin's Requital is the Friday campaign.
What?
Right?
Yep, and yeah, thunderous applause, standing ovation from the crowd. Yeah, you've survived your opera experience.
I would totally wind up doing the slow clap, standing up, like tears in my eyes. This is everything I had hoped.
Yeah.
Which type? So the type of slow clap that gets fast at the end, or the kind
No,
that
like
never
the
gets
type
fast?
that never gets fast, and everybody is like the GIF,
Yeah,
and then pull out a scotch and just hold it up, like good job.
because I love those two different types of slow claps. The one that gets fast is like, oh, this is actually good, and the other one is just sarcastic.
Yep, that one. Yep.
Yep.
I'm doing the one. I'm not like really clapping. I'm just kind of, but I'm doing that thing where it's like dad that wants to be the first one out to like the parking lot to the car before like everyone gets there. So it's like, okay, let's go. Like I'm ready. Like.
Do we see anybody doing the snap instead of clapping?
Make a perception check.
This
I was
isn't a
kidding.
jazz concert.
I really don't want to
You don't
know.
see anyone doing that.
Okay, good.
But the curtain does come back up, and a bunch of performers come out and bow, and the applause starts up again. And
Can we go now? Is this done?
then like another group of performers comes out, and it takes
Can
a
we-
while to get through all of them as they all come up and bow.
Mm-hmm.
And then the orchestra people come up. You're here for a while as everyone gets their individual run up on stage and bow.
I lean it towards Dan and say, "This would be a great time."
You
Ugh.
might cut out again.
You're my
Let me move it away. Let me see what happens. Is that any better?
Sure.
Sounds the same,
Okay.
but it's working right now.
I think I was too close. Maybe it was spiking.
Mm.
You might have to change your voice detection settings in Discord.
Yeah, probably. I can do that on break. Or whenever. You can do it now. I'll do it now.
But yeah, after a good time of applause, it's finally over, and people start making their way out.
Renair,
Yes.
thank you very much for the invitation. It's a lovely evening.
Oh, anytime. Anytime. It's the least I could do.
I lean over to Lynn and say, I promise, if I can, you won't have to come to one of these again.
That sounds great. Thank you.
I'd be like, oh, thank you very much. It was an absolutely great time. Great show. Y'all are wonderful. Thank you very much. But every time I use my accent, you laugh.
Good.
Are we ending the evening here?
I think one of us, at least, was planning on doing a fair amount of drinking.
Oh,
And I
mate.
look,
It's
I look
not
over at Dan.
not a plan. It just happened.
And Renair's like, I'm always up for a fair amount of drinking.
Oh, absolutely. Where shall we go?
What's nearby?
Nearby, the quickest thing is just across in the market.
Is there anywhere around here that would be serving the Rashnar wine? Because I'm all about winning points.
It's not. I mean, this is Kara talking. It's not out yet, right, Steven?
You're opening a new winery, but you have previous ones. So
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, you're just opening a new one, I think, in
Sorry.
Waterdeep.
Just kidding.
No, it's not in Waterdeep.
It's an
Because
off.
there's nowhere to grow grapes in Waterdeep.
Oh, I thought you were importing the grapes and having like a winery, a place to sell your wine.
That would probably require some kind of like magical transportation system, or the grapes would go bad.
Magic. Something that doesn't exist in Lance.
If people are using teleportation circles to move grapes to make wine, they've
We've got a
got
bigger problem.
yeah, exactly.
So as far as places to go in nearby, the closest one is the Singing Sword. That's the place that basically has an animated sword that sings to you while you're enjoying your drinks. There's a place over in North Ward called the Grinning Lion. It's kind of a hole-in-the-wall place. They've got loud music, and
Well, we'd have to go somewhere fairly inexpensive because I don't have much gold.
and over the other way, there's another place called the Tavern of the Flagon Dragon. No one really knows too much about what they have.
That sounds like an adventurous place.
Or you could travel further to... well, most of the good places are further south.
Well, I'm all about trying to find this talking horse.
Well,
So what time is it?
This time...
Bless you.
Did you say that out loud in front of Rainier?
No.
yeah,
I was about to
he just
say.
blew it.
It's probably like 11 o'clock. And you can always like go back to the Yawning Portal or one of the places you've been to already.
So is the Yawning Portal essentially on the way home from where we are, or is it
No,
out of the
it's
way?
further south.
No.
Gotcha.
You're in the castle ward. You're kind of in the middle of the city.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, I'd say we'd probably go to like the closest bar for a couple of drinks and then head back home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You find your way to the Singing Sword.
As we
Alright.
walk in, I'm like, "Oh, isn't this quaint?"
Keep them all singing.
Yeah, it's not that far away at all because you guys were here, and the Singing Sword is here.
No, like across the street.
And,
There we go.
it is pretty busy. You are not the only people to have this idea to come here after the show. Yeah, there's a magical blade that sings out high-voiced ballads. It's black-bladed longsword, and it customarily stands upright, hilt uppermost, in the open central well of the tavern, encircled by spiraling stairs to the upper floors.
As soon as you said high-voiced songs, I just imagined a sword singing Ronnie James Dio songs.
I'm thinking of the Sorting Hat for some reason.
Except in like a sword form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I would give for a sword to sing Rainbow in the Dark.
It's a rainbow in the dark.
Yeah, but it's a brightly lit place. There's people sitting around enjoying meals, enjoying drinks. So yeah, you can go there and get drinks for a while.
I keep trying to just get anyone in the adventuring party to like talk to me more about their exploits and like get details of like more in-depth things of what they've done. Like anyone who like will talk to me, like whoever I think will like give me the most like dirt.
Well, how much?
Probably Gus or Dan.
How much are you drinking?
Probably Gus or Dan. Yeah.
Let me see.
I go for Dan because he's already been drinking.
And I rolled a 2, so I'm drunk enough to talk. Let's see. So what all have we done?
Yeah, it's been a lot, but it's hard to remember it all.
Well, there was Lindario's delivery service.
Yeah, like we're to a degree, we're a very boring adventuring party.
So you had the whole harpsichord.
Blue Alley. Just hit on Blue Alley.
Garden.
Yeah, you can talk about the Blue Alley.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You killed a troll in the yawning portal. You met Volothamp Gadarm.
We rescued
You rescued Renair in the warehouse.
Renair.
Yeah, so, being somewhat drunk, Dan would regale her with the story of when we saved Renair, but would definitely also go out of his way to talk about how, like, Renair had been, like, fighting for his life for multi-days, holding off these terrible people, and we just had to, like, come in and give him support, because, you know, a man can only hold off an entire army, but for so long.
Yeah. And Renair is drinking too, and he's like, yes, yes!
I absolutely did all of that.
You guys
I know how to wingman.
had an adventure in the sewers.
Talk about that. Yeah, and then the ridiculous story of the Blue Alley and all of the things that make absolutely no sense in that place.
Oh, I've heard of this place. Well, you know, just as one does, I feel like many people have heard of the Blue Alley, no?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people know of it. Not a lot of people seem to go in there, though. It's such a confusing place.
Oh.
And, like, they tried to kill us. They had a mural about us dying. And they had, like, traps. And then weird riddles all over the place.
Riddles?
Yeah.
To what end?
None! That's the weirdest part. Like, the best, I mean, I guess at the end, the most important riddle was we got beer.
And I stop over and I say, did you tell her about the mirror room?
No, I try to forget about that, really.
There was this room that you walk in and it's all mirrors. And if you leave, it takes everything on you and pulls it back into the room.
Everything?
Everything. So,
oh my. And I turn to Rainier and like raise my...
and then also there was the thing in the sewer. Remember the thing in the sewer with the tentacle face? It was like, ah.
What was that was a thing I didn't even see, but you keep describing it like this, and I just don't know what it is.
Well, I don't know what it is either. It just looks like this. Hey, Night Breeze.
What's up?
What's the thing that's got the face with the tentacles?
You know, the thing.
Just know it's a terrible beast, and we saw one. And then we also saw some goo that traveled. It was
Goo?
like, yeah, it was like a goo, and it was coming through the doors and trying to get to us. It was.
And this wasn't a dream?
No, this was very real.
Much like what animal did you say that you slain? The
manticore.
The manticore, yes.
Yeah, I actually, was holding onto its legs and steered it after it died into the ground.
Indeed. Oh.
And you guys also met the Blackstaff.
Yeah, I want to go back and talk to her.
The black staff talks to me in my room without being there. It's amazing.
Right. And I just look at Rainier with a knowing look
He just kind of laughs. He's like, adventurers.
and I'm like, Yes, adventurers, because these are the first adventurers I've ever met, so clearly I don't really know, like, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay.
Adventures are all a little wacky, okay. Oh, man.
But this was a lovely evening. Thank you so much for the invitation. We had a wonderful time, but we really should get going because we have some things we need to get done in the morning.
Oh, indeed, yes. Well, Rainier, I think we should be going as well. No, we have other plans this evening.
You crazy kids don't do anything too naughty.
And Rainier kind of just chugs the end of his glass, and
And I kind of like lead him towards the door.
Dan does that classic, like, as you guys are leaving. Alright, you guys have a good time. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, but if you do, name it after me, alright? Have a good one.
And I turn around and I'm like this, like, yeah. Because out of everyone, I liked him the most.
And that's when the Dandrill was created.
The Dandrill. Let's all do the Dandrill.
alright, do we want to take our break there?
Yeah.
Yes,
All
I'd like
right.
to go change.
Alright, we'll be back in a little bit. I do have an extra thing from the singing sword. There is a particular song that it sings that is everyone's like favorite, and I have the lyrics to that song. I can go ahead and it's long though, but it's called Troll Song. In a cave,
Troll song.
in a cave there lived an old troll. His diet grisly, his manners droll. Many a youth he caught and ate, raw with carrots, really great. In a castle there lived a knight. His lance was long, his armor bright. Many quests he carefully planned, but never went his courage unmanned. In a village there dwelt a maid, the fairest that e'er the gods made. Poor but proud, she lived alone, beauty naught but skin and bone. In a deep forest berries grew, bright and red, good but few. Hither went the lady fair, her savage hunger to repair. In one sniff the troll knew the makings of a small meat stew. He wandered near his hidden home, to he who waits all meals roam. In a huff that knight so bold rode out to spend grudging gold, for his cupboard was bare, ale low, and through the forest he did go. In a trice the lady found her food, berries ripe and berries good. By the handful she did eat, the troll approached on nimble feet. Full the maiden turned to go, out leaps the troll, crying, "So, my dinner's come in cap and gown," and the knight, unseeing, rode him down. "Oh, my hero," sighed the lady, "my life is thine, marry me." The knight, afraid, backed his steed, hooves again, treading troll mead. "Good lady," stammered the warrior bold, "my sight is poor, my limbs are old. Am I then thy only choice?" "Yes," she cried, "and I rejoice." "Oh dear," then said noble knight, and fainted dead away from fright. Over backwards he did crash, his armor making troll hash. "Oh my lord," cried the gentle maid, "so noble, so modest, so gently made," and loving arms around him put, trampling troll cakes underfoot. "What ho!" the dazed knight did moan, "I am beaten and overthrown. By my honor I surrender me, to my foe the victory." And he struggled to one knee, his conqueror bright to see, beheld in wonder blushing maid, under both troll tiles thinly laid. "I am yours, command me, I beg," quoth the knight, making a leg. "Up then, sir," said that lady, "my lord and husband thou shalt be." And up he got, armor a clank, troll blood unwitting spurs drank, and set his lady upon his horse. Together they rode o'er troll, of course. And when the hooves had died away, the troll on the ground did stay, feeling every little bit of pain as his bits came together again. But men, like trolls, never learn, beautiful maidens sharp to spurn. And so the song goes round again, the fallen always suffering pain. Oh, in a cave there lived an old troll. Thank you for the follow, Trippy Girl.
And I thought you were going to break into you hear the people.
But that's the troll song. It's apparently popular in that particular tavern. Lots of people sing it with the sword as it sings. So yeah, that's another performance you got that evening.
I drew a picture of the singing sword in my notes here.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. You guys doing anything else this evening?
I think we could probably go back and probably plan for what we have to get done, because I think we have some loose ends that we still need to tie up as well. New thing.
Yeah, I agree. We need to talk to the horse. And
Well, we probably need a plan to talk to the horse, because we're trying not to give it up.
well, I think the easiest thing was just locate where it is, and then Lynn can do speak with animals, and no one would have any idea.
Well, the horse can actually speak common.
I know, but in order to hide that,
If we're
Lynn can
yeah,
just
if we're
speak-
keeping the ruse, I'll just speak to it in horse, and no one would know. That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah. Because presumably the horse also speaks horse.
Probably.
I mean,
But what dialect of horse though?
if we're
Probably Arabian, or probably a Polish Arabian.
yeah, it's a draft horse.
It's
so.
draft. It's a lot like drow with a little bit of an F and a T. No W though.
Drought.
Drought.
Well, I mean, if we want to make it easy for ourselves, it actually would probably be best if we did it at night instead of running around an entire city trying to figure out where a horse may be going.
Yeah.
Go to where it's stabled for the night.
And
Well, we
you know,
can
there
start searching
are,
sales.
There are drays and carriages operating all times of night.
Oh, really? Needle haystack, man.
Well, I mean, the horse has a name. Maybe you could find out. Had a really good experience on a ride. If you'd like to. I don't. I've got.
Do we want to? Do we want to visit?
request?
Do we want to visit the transportation company and offer to, like, I don't know, clean all of their horses, so that they send them all to us for a day? We'd offer like a massively discounted rate to brush all of these horses. Be so upset.
So there's no particular like route, like certain routes or certain stables that like a horse would consistently be in.
Yeah, we're looking for like Dre 175 on C, stopping at Broad Street.
So there are some like public transit that do just follow a specific route. There are others that are more like taxis that'll just come wherever you happen to pick them up to go wherever your destination is. And basically, from what you were told, the actual horses serving those things are interchangeable.
Yeah, but like a horse would have a specific stable that they would always go to at the end of the night. And like,
Possibly.
okay. I mean, it would be weird if they would just be going to multiple, like they have all their stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'd have a stable, and they have the name over it. So let's just go all to the stables and figure out what stable name Maxine is. Break. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Do we think that it is... Well, first, I would like to go get my gear back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Change out of
Second,
this dress.
how interested are we in splitting the...
Splitting the party, otherwise known as the party.
The thing is I...
The problem is there's so many stables.
Right, and it's there's also a few other loose ends that I think we with the elf thing, and I find it awkward that we haven't heard anything from Blackstaff. I mean, we've been in town for 12 days.
Yeah.
More than that. It was just 12 days since you rescued Renair.
Oh, yeah.
Nightbreeze was in Waterdeep a full 2 days before that.
My God. But, I mean, I'm thinking if we were to split up, and at least, in like, if the group that doesn't have Lynn finds it, we could at least identify where we need to go. Right?
Yeah, but then what if by the time we get there to it, it's not there?
Well, at least we would know her stable, right?
Oh, yes.
Could you talk to one horse to get the whereabouts of another horse?
Ooh.
Cool.
Ooh.
Good idea.
That solves a lot of problems. If it works.
Seems like it would be worth a shot.
Definitely worth a shot. If she has the spell slots.
It's once per long rest. It's not a slot type thing.
Oh.
So, and I only last for 10 minutes.
Mm.
Well, what if you were to talk to a horse to find out where, what's her name, Maxine,
Yeah.
is stabled, and then you get some rest, and then we go there as soon as you wake up.
Yeah, we could try that. But, I mean, she may be out on runs then, you know?
Right.
We could wait.
Okay. I would be hesitant about splitting the party.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what about finding out now, and then going back, because it's nighttime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could ask now, and then go back, bed down, and then go back out in the morning.
We could ask now. Go check the dock ward for murderer. Rest.
Sure.
Go to the stable, assuming we now know where it is. Then go catch up with Blackstaff post-breakfast.
Yeah.
That's ambitious.
So let's take a dray down towards the dock ward. While we're doing that, Lynn can ask fun questions of the horse.
Why do we have to do everything in one night? Why haven't we done stuff the past 2 days? Y'all guys have just been sitting around drunk.
We were planning, and we needed imbibement to plan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, aren't we changing first so we can get all of our weapons and things
Yes.
and be slightly bit more comfortable?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I need to get some food and
Okay.
feed Sleet.
You're at a tavern eating food, I assume.
Oh, then I'll just feed him along the way.
Okay. So do we want to take a dray and have me ask one? We'll take a dray to our place.
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yep.
All right. We find a dray to hail. And guess
Hail
what?
dray.
First
Hail
chance
dray.
is Maxine.
I rolled a natural 100.
I should have asked, like, what she looks like. What kind of, like, coloring.
She looks like a horse.
Well,
But-
they have
yeah,
color.
but
And a horse is a horse, of course.
They have very specific
Her name is
colors.
Mr. Ed.
Maybe she has, like, a nice white diamond on her nose, you know, like, discerning characteristics. So let me know what's what.
Yeah.
Okay. I know it's not going to be the first one, but
Okay, so you're just
there.
hiring someone to take you back to Troll Skull?
Yes.
Someone with a horse.
Yep. Take me a moment. I have to find the information.
The horse's name is Maxine. I help.
Let's just do a search.
While he's looking it up, have we ever spent more than just a few hours down at the docks?
We spent like one whole night.
2 whole nights. And I spent a whole day.
That's true. Yeah.
So I spent a day and an evening, and we spent 2 full nights.
All right.
The dray is going to cost 4 copper per person.
Hey, I actually have copper.
I think I got enough.
You said 4 copper?
Yeah.
I'm actually running low on copper.
And
I've got enough for this, but whew.
compared to the
Must suck.
Compared to the carriage ride you took earlier, this is far less comfortable. And it's bumpy. It's not a comfortable seat.
It's also less chatty.
But yeah, you guys make it back to.
Are we all like smushed together?
Kind of, yeah. And there's other people on it, and you guys make your way back up.
Lynn, are you going to try to talk to the horse?
Yes. There's other people on this thing, so they're waiting. Like, I can't really talk very long.
So it's kind of like a glassed-in carriage with bench seating, and then additional open-air bench seating on the roof.
Okay.
We could probably talk from the roof.
Okay, yeah. Can I do that?
Yeah.
I will say, hello, what's your name?
And the horse is like, who's talking?
Oh, it's me. I'm up here behind you. You can keep working, but did you want to talk for a few minutes with me?
Sure.
My name's Lindario. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Jason.
Hi, Jason. I'm actually looking for another horse like you, although not quite as beautiful and but her name is Maxine. Do you happen to know her?
I will. He does not know Maxine.
Oh.
I would like to inspire Jason to think harder to know if he knows Maxine.
Tell Jason that if he can't come up with it, he's dead.
No, I don't know a Maxine.
Okay. Well, thank you. And I'll just say, guy, he doesn't know who we're looking for.
Does he know where they go at night or when they're not working?
Well, I know where the stable. I'm sure Lindario would know, like the stables around town.
Yeah, there's a bunch
already,
of
right? Okay, there's no need to ask that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because if he doesn't know Maxine, you assume he doesn't stable where Maxine is.
Yeah.
You should ask where he's stabled.
Okay. Yeah. I will. Okay, I'll ask that then. Then that's good. Process of elimination.
It's a spot in the trades ward.
Okay. Not in trades war spot. So do I know? Okay, so I know the places that they probably stable them. How many are there?
Dozens, if not more.
Really? Okay.
But yeah, they'll move up the high road and they'll basically let you off at Delzoran Street.
Is there like a, just like there's like the New York taxi cab company. Is there like a company, like something that runs and that would know all their horses and like...
There's a couple companies. It's not just one.
Okay, there's a couple?
Yeah.
Bro needs to give us more information. Come on, Mert.
Yeah, I mean, the point of it is to be secret.
Another wild goose chase.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think you're onto something. I think we, by talking to the companies, since there obviously isn't service to Trollskull Manor, that we are upstarting proprietors that are looking to see if we can establish a real relationship with one of the dredge companies to get a stop.
Sure.
I mean, business gets you in the door, right?
Well, yeah. We still need to make sure that we have a good reason to be around pretty much all of the horses.
We need to inspect their fleet.
Or as part of the business deal for them adding a stop, is if we could possibly get all three companies, or however many there are, to add service towards Trollskull, help us with the business once it's up.
Yep.
We could absolutely offer to, as part of inspecting their fleet, like clean them, clean out the, clean their hooves, something of that nature, so they're more likely to let us actually spend some quality time with the horses. And plus, we have essentially stables nearby.
At the Talmost estate.
Yeah.
I don't think they're just gonna let us like take their horses around.
Well, no, I mean, if we were able to get access to the stables to inspect their fleet, right, and you were to talk to animals and just say, "Hey, I'm looking for Maxine," that could eliminate that entire stable.
Yeah.
Well, so the problem is there's dozens of stables.
Well, true.
So I think we're better off with some sort of plan that gets them to bring the horses to us in a rotating fashion.
Yeah, if there's dozens of stables, there's going to be hundreds of horses. Like, no one's going to bring hundreds of their horses to us just for a route. You know what I mean? I don't think we can convince that.
Yeah.
I think it's literally going to be all day long, just going stable to stable.
Yeah, I think
We could act like we're looking to purchase more horses. At least gives us a good reason to be going stable to stable.
Yeah.
And inspecting all the horses that are there to look for ones that we could make an offer on. At the same point, one of the things that you do when you're looking to purchase horses is you ask if they have papers on them so you can inspect the papers.
Mm.
Papers should have the name.
Yeah.
From that perspective, we might be able to just go to the buildings for the companies that own them and ask if we can inspect their fleet's papers to see if there are any that we'd be willing to make an offer on.
Wait, this is a bureaucratically heavy. So, wouldn't their papers be kept at like the registrar's office?
Yeah, that's what I was originally thinking, that if there's a company, they have to have a registry of all of their horses and who all works for them.
Lynn, did you have to file paperwork on your horse when you started working here? That's more of a question for the DM, I think. But
you had basically a permit from the Guild of Carters and Coachmen
Yeah.
There might have been a more specific name for it than that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of the registrations and stuff that town has is on the people, not the horses.
And all of that was handled by Aurora's, so you didn't really have to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
So it's possible they had to specifically register your horses, but you weren't. If they did, you're not aware of it.
Yeah. I think we should just start.
It's the Fellowship of Carters and Coachmen.
I think that's worth a shot.
We just need to start somewhere.
Yep.
Needle and haystack. Let's find it.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys made your way back to Trollskull Manor, and you got your stuff. You got changed.
Yep, I gear
Yep.
up.
Yep.
Okay, so it's probably after midnight at this point.
I think we're gonna have a really long day tomorrow. We should probably go to sleep.
It's actually probably closer to 1 a.m. because you stayed at the Singing Sword for a while.
Yeah.
I agree. Go to bed, wake up. It started early.
Yep.
Work our way down towards the dock board as well.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take to get to the dock board?
It depends on
Just on average.
On average, yeah.
the way I've been doing it is basically from any point A to point B is about an hour. It kind of doesn't really matter how far you go.
Gotcha.
If you really went from one end of the city to the other, I might increase that. Or if you're only going a couple blocks, I'd decrease it. But
Gotcha.
I've been saying about an hour because it kind of averages out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really, your limiting factor is all the other people.
Yep.
All right. So wake up, head to figure out this horse thing, right? And then
I actually. I don't know if I'm. I don't think we should split the party for anything else other than like maybe going to the places. But if we do anything else outside of just going into stables and seeing if there's a horse named Maxine that's stabled there, I don't think we should split. But it may be easier to do multiple stables in multiple areas of town and kind of like meet up every few.
Yeah. And I mean, I kind of also, if we're going to leave in the morning, I'd love to go chat with Blackstaff to see if she's got anything else. I think the dock ward's definitely something for. Well, we're trying to figure that out.
all right.
But I would agree. I would agree that anything outside checking the stables, we shouldn't split.
All right. So how about in the morning we go towards the Black Staff, stop at whatever stables we come across while there, going that way, and then if there's nothing else to do, we can head towards the dock and stop at any stables we come across, and just use our travel from point A to point B as an opportunity to stop by additional stables.
I like it.
That way we're not just on the wild goose chase, it's just a part of it.
So we have an actual like route plan.
I don't know what y'all think that we're going to be doing actual stuff in the dock ward. It's going to take all day to go to all these. If there's dozens of stables throughout the entire city, it's going to take all day.
I still think we might be better off just going to the couple of company headquarters and asking to look through the paperwork for their fleet.
I'm okay with that.
Just pretend to, just say, we're starting up a new business, we're looking to buy a couple of horses, we'd be willing to look through any paperwork they have for their horses to see if there's anything that we might be interested in. It could quite possibly be much, much faster.
We could try.
Alternatively, you just walk into each stable and just say, hey, you know, it's a pretty cool name for a horse, Maxine, and see if any of the horses respond.
Mhm.
Presumably the horse wouldn't respond because the horse is not trying to blow its cover.
Well,
Much like we should be not trying to blow its cover. That's why I think like walking around constantly asking for a horse named Maxine puts a little bit of unnecessary strain on the spy.
Like,
Well-
I'm imagining each stable has some sort of register somewhere that says, if not the names over each stall, would have. Do I know? Okay, like DM, do I know like general practice in stables? Like, would they have like name over the stalls, or would it be like in an office we have to break into? Like,
It's not consistent from place to place.
of course it isn't. In a town of rules and bureaucracy, it's not consistent. There's probably you probably get fined if you're not consistent. Come on. They love their fines.
which is why they allow people to mess up so they can find them.
And you probably think like the stables might be not even part of the company. The stable might be its own private business itself, and each one might be a different business.
Yeah, borders.
Or they might even just be like renting a stall from someone else. Because there could be some cases where there is a person who drives a dray or a carriage, and they bring their own horse, much like you had your own horses for deliveries.
Yeah.
So the horses aren't even always owned by the company. They can be owned by the drivers.
What do you guys think of maybe having some offline conversations to game plan?
Yeah, so we could end the night
Yeah.
bed and
You cut out again.
Yeah, your mic is cutting out a lot.
oh, I love it. I agree.
Yeah, so it's 1 a.m. We're all going to go to sleep after a fantastic evening at the opera. Get some rest. Get to it. And we will get to it the next morning.
All right. We can take a long rest, and we'll wrap up there for tonight.
Awesome.
Thanks everyone for hanging out. We had a fun night. Check out our Discord server. There's a link down in the description below. And come check out Cranio Dad's channel on Friday. We're gonna see how that opera plays out more.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting.
And it won't be in Giant.
Oh, yeah, it won't be in Giant.
All right. Thanks everyone.
Night.
Bye.
Good night.